Hi, this is Gene, and this report is current as of Friday, the 29th here. This morning it's kind of raining out and kind of nasty, so not many guys are headed to the lake today. But the last several days have been pretty nice. The wind has finally let down a little bit for the most part. Water temperatures have creeped up in the areas. I've heard of some shallow water afternoon areas where the water has broke that 70-degree mark. For the most part, we've been in the low to mid-60s and even lower than that earlier or even last weekend. With that warmer water temperature, the bluegill action has started to pick up. A lot of fish have moved into some of the shallow areas, some of the spawning areas. They are making a few beds around. I wouldn't say they're on the beds or that they're spawning, but we're definitely headed towards that time period. And with that warmer weather coming next week, I'm sure that the bluegill spawn will probably be in full swing by midweek or so. Up here on Lake Mendota, they're catching quite a few catfish. The shore guys have been doing real well up in the Yahara River, up by Naughty Gal, and up into Cherokee Marsh. They've had several multiple fish mornings and afternoons up there where the guys have done quite well. Lake Mendota has been producing some pretty decent smallmouth action. A lot of those smallmouth should be done spawning by now. They're becoming pretty active out on the bars already. Dunn's Bar has been producing quite a few smallmouth in the last week or so. And guys are throwing a variety of baits. Crankbaits once in a while, plastics, little power grubs and kaolin grubs. Also, guys have been throwing some leeches. Been selling quite a few leeches lately. Over on Lake Monona, the bluegill action and crappie action has been pretty decent over in Squaw Bay and Turtle Bay still. The crappies are moving out a little deeper. They're out in that 8 foot of water or so for the most part, scattered along what will be the weed lines when they get finished growing up a little bit. I did talk to some guys that did pretty good over by Wild Haven a couple of times. A few bluegills in shallow once in a while and some crappies out on the outside edge of the weeds. Been hearing a little bit of muskie action on Monona, but not a lot, not enough to really share much information, just that the fish have been getting a little bit active and following. Lake Waubesa, the panfish action continues to be pretty good down there. Bluegills up shallow, crappies out a little bit at deeper, 8 foot of water or so. They're using a variety of baits, plastics, minnows and minnows for the crappies, and then the bluegills this time of the year. Worms work pretty well, the red worms, but you can still do pretty decent with spikes, with plastics and wax worms, stuff like that. Lake Kegonsa been pretty quiet. I haven't heard too much going on down there. Typically this time of the year, there's a bit of a mid-lake walleye bite going on, both there and on Lake Waubesa, and I have yet to hear much information on that. The guys I have talked to said it's been pretty sparse, the action out on that mid-lake trolling bite so far. I'm sure that's going to change here pretty quick, but it hasn't so far. Otherwise, the shore fishermen around town are struggling a little bit, but they're taking some fish still over in that triangle area, some bluegills up shallow. Out on the convention center wall, they've been getting a mixed bag of some crappie, bluegills, and even some bass I've heard out there lately. A lot of the fellows are heading out of town shore fishing, and they've been doing pretty good Crystal Lake area, catching crappies up there. And up by Oki, they've been getting a few sauger and some crappies up in that area. I guess that's all I got for you, so got any questions, give me a call here at the store, 608-241-4225. Thank you.